Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another of my live videos. And today, I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news. So I'm going to discuss with you today on this video about a bit of transfer rumours that are currently going on in the media. I'm going to discuss with you a bit of Arsenal's transfer news. We're going to discuss with you a bit of Liverpool's, and we are going to discuss a bit of Chelsea as well. So there's quite a lot to talk about today on this current video. So we'll start with a bit of Arsenal's transfer news. So reportedly, Arsenal, I know, have got a few players that are guaranteed to leave. They have got quite a few injury problems in their squad at this current moment in time, and Arsenal, a new man, may probably do feel as though they do need to spend in the January window, maybe get a winger in their team, maybe get a defender in their team as well, because I think that's the areas that Arsenal do need to address. I think attackers, they look very, very good. You know, they've got players like Lacazette and Aubameyang, you know, that are scoring goals this season, you know, leading the lines very, very well. But there's certain areas they need to bolster up, and I think Umeme needs to reinvest in this upcoming January transfer window. But reportedly, Arsenal have showed an interest in a player called Ever Benga. Now, he is a Sevilla player. Umeme had high experience of working with him because Umeme worked with him at Valencia and also worked with him at Sevilla. The current player is now at Sevilla. Reportedly, he's a very, very good attacking midfielder. His versatility is very, very good. When he was younger in his prime, he's now 30 years old, but when he was younger in his prime, I think he's 30 anyway. When he was younger in his prime, he actually played as a defensive midfielder or a deep lying midfielder, did the player as well, but reportedly a very, very good player. Reportedly, the player has around an 18 million release clause, and reportedly, Arsenal are looking to trigger it. I think Arsenal have actually potentially been linked to him in the past, but Arsenal are obviously probably see him as a replacement for Mesut Ozil. Obviously, if Mesut Ozil does leave the club, as we all couldn't know. But yeah, Benga, reportedly, he actually began his career with Boca Juniors. He's Argentinian. He's the player. He's not the rank for Boca Junior. Then potentially was at Valencia for quite a good, was it 6-7 years or something like that. He made 162 appearances. Also won the Copa del Rey with them as well. And then potentially went on loan deals with like Newell Old Boys. He went on loans with Atletico Madrid. He was actually Sevilla as well. Well, he's at Sevilla now, but after them loan deals, he went to Sevilla, won 2 Europa Leagues with Sevilla as well. I think he had a season with Inter Milan. Now, obviously, he's back with Sevilla again, the current player. Also in America, he has become, well, with Argentina in the Copa America, he's become runners up twice as well as the current player. But supposed to be a very, very good player, strong, quick, very good in the air, links up with his teammates very, very well, can create opportunities as well. So potentially, yeah, so Arsenal are looking to trigger his 18 million league clause. So Umeme is looking to reunite with the player. Umeme does know about the player, as we all currently know. So reportedly, he's looking to trigger his 18 million release clause as well, because potentially Arsenal obviously have got a few injury problems. They've got Danny Welbeck out for the season, as we all currently know, and Aaron Ramsey as well, and he's set to leave. But as I said, he will be available on free transfer next summer. But reportedly, there's a few teams that have expressed an interest in Arsenal's Aaron Ramsey, including Juventus. I think AC Milan have also been interested. There's been a few teams interesting, but the latest one to be on the agenda is Paris Saint-Germain. Now, reportedly, according to the press and reports stemming from France, that reportedly PSG have had negotiations with Arsenal over a potential move around Ramsey, and they've had potential discussions with Aaron Ramsey. Reportedly, did say PSG are willing to go for him in this upcoming January window, maybe willing to offer him 10-20 million pounds plus an 18-month contract, reportedly. But as I said, if Arsenal have blatantly told him he's not signing it, he's not getting a new contract, Arsenal would obviously rather, you know, recoup some money and rather cash in for the player, rather than let him go on a free transfer next summer, because we do know that he's going to be leaving Arsenal. Obviously, he's made over 2 century appearances for Arsenal, as we all know. He's progressed, he's grown and developed very, very well. You know, when he was at Cardiff, I think he only made 22 appearances, you know, when he was at Cardiff. He became the youngest first-team player ever there, you know, with Cardiff. But I think he only made 22 appearances. I think he had a loan spell with Nottingham Forest as well. But he's been at Arsenal like a decade now, as Aaron Ramsey. But reportedly, PSG, who invested a lot of money last year on the likes of Mbappe and Neymar, reportedly have been in negotiations over the regarding of Aaron Ramsey as well, as we all currently know. But Arsenal could see this Ever Benga, if I pronounce his name right, I might have pronounced his name wrong. He's a Sevilla player, as I said. He's Argentinian, as we all know, and he's supposed to be a very, very good player. I think he's age 30, so he's the same age as Mesut Ozil Arsenal could see him as a good replacement for Mesut Ozil if Mesut Ozil does leave the club. We don't know if actually Mesut Ozil's going to leave. His future's uncertain, I think, at the moment with Arsenal, Mesut Ozil's. But Mesut Ozil, it says a few teams have actually been interested in Mesut Ozil. He signed a contract worth £300,000 a week, as we all currently know. So a few teams interested in him there. I don't know what's happening with Mesut Ozil, to be quite honest with you, whether he's going to stay or whether he's going to go, because he's failed to establish himself under Emery. He's failed to, adapt himself properly, because, he is Premier League proven, and he can prove to be a very, very good, huge, talented midfielder. But as I said, when he's been playing, he hasn't been on great form. He had an injury early on in the season as well, did Mesut Ozil, but he's not playing to his potential best, when he does play under Emery, as he was under Arsene Wenger. He had a good start to the season. This season, did Mesut Ozil, but reportedly, there's been talks in the media about, Ozil and Isco as a potential swap deal. There were reports coming out the other week from Sky Sports saying that a Turkish team were interested in him as well, as we all currently know. But as I said, Emery still may feel as though that Ozil does have a future with Arsenal, of course. He's won quite a lot of honours. He's won a lot of individual awards. Arsenal paid £42.5 million for the German back in 2013, as we all currently know. But as I said, Ozil's future is still uncertain with Arsenal. The ex-Schalke, the ex-Werder Bremen, and the ex-Real Madrid player, as we all currently know. But he's now age 30. Is Mesut Ozil, so his future is still uncertain. But as you heard reports coming out the other week about Ozil and Isco as a potential swap deal, I think Arsenal will go along with that all day. Arsenal would take Isco because Isco is a very, very good player, as we all currently know. A few teams have monitored an interest in Isco because Isco now feels out of favour at Real Madrid under the management of Santiago Solari. He feels out of favour at Real Madrid. Does Isco, but good midfielder, strong, tenacious, very competitive, good on the ball, link-up play, very, very good for Isco. As I said, I think reportedly the player does have a 600 million release clause in his current contract with Real Madrid. He's under contract with Real Madrid, I think, until 2022, as I said. But you can play numerous positions. I think you can play in the wing occasionally. You can put him as a deep holding midfielder. You can put him in an attacking midfielder. As I said, and he's been in Real Madrid since 2013 and he's won honours, including 4 Champions Leagues, I think, with Real Madrid as the player. But he's a very, very good player, and Arsenal would take Isco, for Mesut Ozil all day long. But there were reports about that quite a few days ago now, about Ozil and Isco as a potential swap deal, as I said. But yeah, you've got Arsenal, who have also been interested in Christian Pavon, Bokia Junior's player. Bokia Junior's only paid £1 million for him. Reportedly, he's a winger. Reportedly, he only has a 40-odd million release clause. Does the player as well? So reportedly, Arsenal have been interested in him. There's also teams, including Arsenal, that have been interested in Lille's Nicolas Pepe. Now, reportedly, Lille rate him at around £72 million. There's been a few teams interested in him. I think he's a winger, is the player. Reportedly, he's a Lille player. Reportedly, his performances have been very, very good for Lille. He signed a 5-year contract back in June 2017 with them, so I think he'll have about 4 years left on his current deal. But he's an ex-Angers player. He made his professional debut in 2014 with Angers, as we do know. But now, he's highly experienced in France and sports, but he's a very, very good player, is this Nicolas Pepe. I think he's only young as well. So reportedly, Arsenal and a few teams have been interested in him as well. But yeah, there's a bit of Arsenal's transfer rumours to update you with. So reportedly, they're interested in Ever Benga. As I said, Sevilla player, worked with Emery in the past, worked with him when Emery was managing Sevilla, worked with him when he was managing Valencia, as we all know. He played in 162 games, Valencia in all competitions, won the Copa del Rey then, as I currently said. Recently the youth system with Boca Juniors for a lot of years, so he has grown and developed very, very well as this Ever Benga, as I currently said. Obviously, and obviously, he's not going to, Valencia. Then potentially, he went on loan deals, didn't he? As I said, to Newell's Boys and Atletico Madrid. Obviously, then went back to Sevilla, and he's won 2 Europa Leagues with Sevilla. And he had the season with Inter Milan, of course, as well, didn't he? The player, I think he did anywhere. but reportedly Arsenal have been interested in him as well. And reportedly the player has around an 18 million release clause. So potentially I'm going to update you on some more transfer rumours that reportedly Liverpool have been monitoring Bushir Mogombachi's Thorgan Hazard, who's obviously the brother of Eden Hazard and the brother of Keelan Hazard. Since he's been at Bushir Mogombachi, he's made over a century appearances for the club. Well, initially he was on loan, but they signed him permanently in 2015. Also, he actually began his career with Lens, did the player in France. And then potentially he has been at Chelsea, you know, as a Thorgan Hazard, but he never played a competitive match for Chelsea. Then went on loan for a couple of years, and then went to Borussia Mönchengladbach, did the current player. He is Belgium, as I said, he's won Belgian Football of the Year and he's won Belgian Golden Shoe individually as the player. But reportedly, Liverpool have showed an interest in him. Reportedly, the player has got around a 26 million release clause. From my knowledge, he is under contract with Bushir Mönchengladbach, I think, until 2020. So he has got around 18 months left on his current contract as the player, something like that. Anywhere. Reportedly, I think he's a midfielder, isn't he, or is he a winger or something like that? Thorgan Hazard, as I currently said, but reportedly, Liverpool have been interested in him. Borussia Dortmund have also been interested in him as well, because they're eyeing out a replacement for Christian Pulisic, as we all currently know, because I think Liverpool still got a few potential targets on their radar. They were the biggest spenders during the course of last summer. They spent 171 million. Chelsea were the second biggest spenders, as we all know. But as I said, Liverpool may allow a few of their players to go to get some room, to get a few extra players into their squad, as we all know. But yeah, as I said, Thorgan Hazard, Liverpool have been potentially interested in him. Borussia Dortmund have been potentially interested in him to replace Christian Pulisic at Dortmund, because Christian Pulisic just looks set. He is going to leave Borussia Dortmund. I think he could leave this upcoming January, to be quite honest with you. You know, even though a couple of weeks ago the rumours were stemming that Borussia Dortmund were not the director of Borussia Dortmund not willing to let him go in the January window. They're willing to keep him until the end of the season, then do business in the summer. He's rated at around 50-60 million pounds, is Christian Pulisic, because he's grown and developed very, very well in Germany. You know, Borussia Dortmund, he's progressed through the ranks very, very well, and he is only 20 years of age, so he is still in his prime. You know, he can play attacking mid, he can play him out wide. He mainly does play as a winger, to be quite fair, as Christian Pulisic. He is under contract with Dortmund until 2020. There's been no sign of him signing a new contract, but there has been reports coming out saying he prefers to join Chelsea. He prefers to join Chelsea, and another report coming out saying he prefers to join Liverpool. Does Christian Pulisic reportedly? Obviously, Klopp's worked for him in the past, so Klopp does know about the player. As I said. And obviously, he's American, and Liverpool owners are American as well, are FSG. But it has been Liverpool and Chelsea that have been mainly linked with Borussia Dortmund's Christian Pulisic, as we all know. But he's a very good player. I think he'd do well in the Premier League, playing amongst different players, and I think he'd fit in the Premier League very, very well, because he is a good young age prospect, is Christian Pulisic. But I think a deal could be in line in January if they're preparing to pay 50-60 million pounds, as we all know. And Chelsea have already held negotiations with Borussia Dortmund over this as well. But Chelsea have already held negotiations with Borussia Dortmund over this, because obviously Chelsea could see quite a few of their players leave. As I said, Callum Hudson reportedly he came off yesterday with an injury, an unsuspected injury, is what I said, but he hasn't been getting the game time this season. He's only 18 years of age. He's coming to an end of his contract. There's been no sign of him signing a new one. As I've updated you, Hazard's future still uncertain with Chelsea, even though now he's hit a century of goals, well over a century of goals. I think it's 101 now. Is it in all competitions, or is that just in the Premier League? I'm not too sure, but I know that he's hit a century of goals for Chelsea. Morata, he's out of favour now at Chelsea, no longer first choice. I think he's going to be set to leave in the January transfer window, as I've already updated you on. But yeah, as I said to you yesterday, reports were coming out about Eden Hazard. Reportedly, from the press, Real Madrid were reportedly willing to offer two of their players to get Eden Hazard. Reportedly, they're willing to offer Mateo Kovacic and Kovacic and Isco as well. So Real Madrid are willing to offer there two of their players for Eden Hazard. But obviously we know Mateo Kovacic is at Chelsea on loan, so he's on loan at Chelsea at this moment in time. Is Kovacic obviously? You know, he's an ex-Dynamo Zagreb player. You know, he won 2 titles with Dynamo Zagreb when he was younger. You know, he's ex-Inter Milan player as well. You know, obviously ex-Real Madrid player as well. But obviously, now he's at Chelsea because Chelsea got him on loan. So Real Madrid is saying you can have Kovacic permanently. Reportedly, you can have Isco permanently, and we want Eden Hazard. But we know that he's been linked with Real Madrid as Eden Hazard. There's been no sign of Eden Hazard signing a new contract with Chelsea. As we all know, there's been no sign of that. You know, he's now hit a century of goals for Chelsea. As we all know, he's been at Chelsea in 2012, won a lot of honours, won a lot of individual awards, as we all know. But he's grown and developed fantastically well. Eden Hazard, close ball control, very, very good. Works hard for the team. You know, his link-up plays very, very well. His finishing's absolutely, you know, to perfection. Very, very clinical. He expresses himself very, very well. And he's a very, very good player. And Chelsea know how much of a central player he is. Potentially that is Chelsea's best player they've got, in my opinion. But there's been no sign of him as yet signing a new contract. But he does keep getting linked with a move to Real Madrid, as we all know, does Eden Hazard. So potentially we'll see what happens about that. There's been rumours about that. But I think Morata's going to definitely leave Chelsea. He's out of favour now at Chelsea. Chelsea paid £60 million for him, as we all currently know. He hasn't really established himself well at Chelsea. I think Chelsea do need a centre-forward, you know, in this upcoming January transfer window. They do need a centre-forward, as we all currently know. But as I said, they've been in search for Gonzalo Higuain, as we all know, AC Milan's Gonzalo Higuain. So, as I did update you, there has been talks of Gonzalo Higuain and Morata as a potential swap deal, loan exchange, but a potential swap deal. Potentially, Sarri's keen on actually getting Gonzalo Higuain. He's only on loan at AC Milan, as we all know. He isn't really doing that well, but obviously now he's 31 years of age. He's out of his prime, and he has done very, very well. He's grown and developed, and he's proven to be a prolific goal scorer in the past. He can lead the lines. His finishing's very, very good. He's clinical. You know, he scores goals, as he has proven throughout his playing career as the player. He's never, of course, never played in the Premier League or experienced the Premier League as the player. But AC Milan had to pay around £16-17 million out for his loan fee, as we all currently know. But yeah, he's very, very good. He was good young in his prime when he was Real Madrid. You know, he had 6 great years with Real Madrid, as we all currently know. He scored 107 goals in 190 appearances. You know, with Napoli, he scored 36 goals in one season. And Sarri's keen on reuniting with Gonzalo Higuain, because Sarri's worked for him in the past, so he's had experience of working with the player, as we all know. And potentially with Juventus, he did pretty well with Juventus in his 2 seasons with Juventus before he got loaned out to Milan. I think he won the domestic double with them in his first 2 seasons as well. I think Juventus paid, £90 million for him. He is South American, the player, as we all know. But he's a very, very good player, Gonzalo Higuain. But obviously now he's 31 years of age. I think they lost the pace a little bit now, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, Chelsea have reportedly been in discussions with AC Milan about this. They've had discussions with Juventus as well, because obviously he's on loan from Juventus, he's the player. But yeah, so I think Morata's going to go, because he hasn't really developed himself since he's come to the Premier League. He is strong, he is quick, he has got pace, he can press high, can Morata, but especially this season under Sarri, he has struggled to really adapt himself, struggling for consistency, and obviously he isn't first choice under Sarri now, as we all know, so he could potentially be making a move to AC Milan. But he was good, you know, when he had 2 years with Juventus. He had a 2-year spell with Juventus. You know, he spent most of his playing career with Real Madrid, as we all know. But yeah, he hasn't really developed himself at Chelsea. So there has been a lot of talks about that as well. But as I said to you guys, yeah, Evan Bacon, as I said, Banger, he's got an 18 million release clause. Reportedly, Arsenal are interested. Arsenal are interested in activating his 18 million release clause. Reportedly, he's a Sevilla player. He's worked with Unai Emery in the past. Unai Emery will probably have a good relationship with the player. I think he's age 30 years of age. Is the player. He's an attacking mid. You know, he can also play as a defensive mid as well. So his versatility is very, very good. He's skillful. His passing is supposed to be very, very good as well. He's Argentinian, as I said, the player. As I said, you know, when he was young in his prime, he risen up the ranks with Boca Juniors. As we all currently know, went to Valencia, played 162 games with Valencia, won the Copa del Rey with Valencia. He was there quite a long time. Then he went on loan deals to Atletico Madrid and Newell's Old Boys and all that. Did the player. Potentially, he had the season, didn't he, with Inter Milan, as we all know, and now he's back at Sevilla. And you know, with Sevilla, he won 2 Europa Leagues, as we all know, become runner-up in the Copa America with Argentina twice as well, the player. Won the 2018 Olympic gold medal as well, did the player. So he looks a really good standout player, what I've seen from some of his statistics, the player. But reportedly Arsenal have been interested in him. So we get to Manchester United now. We've got a few players that we may want to get in the January transfer window. As I did say to you guys, the board are only willing to let Ole Gunnar Solskjaer get loan deals in January, because obviously Man United probably want to save some money to get to get permanent signings in next summer. But I think, you know, to be quite fair, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will get the job on a permanent basis, a full-time basis. You know, if he does carry on, if he gets the team, you know, if we do keep performing like this, getting good results, players playing well, you know, I really do think he could get the job, and he could get offered the contract too, to say that he won't. I know Ed Woodward's got other managers in his mind at the moment, you know, with appointing Zinedine Zidane on a full-time basis at the end of the season, or Pochettino at the end of the season. But I think Solskjaer's going to do well. He knows he knows the culture of the club. He knows the club inside. He knows the traditions of the club as well, and he knows the culture of the club. Does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because he has worked with some of these players, you know, in the reserve team. As we all know, he was a great player, as I said, from 1996 to 2007. So that's 11 seasons under Alex Ferguson, as we all currently know. And as I said, you know, the mood's lifted at Old Trafford. You know, the fans are happy, the players are happy. You know, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the confidence is in the team, working hard together as a team, they're communicating, we're attacking. We are attacking, and that's the attacking football, you know, that Manchester United, of course, want to see. But as I said, you know, obviously players weren't happy under Mourinho. Fans weren't happy under Mourinho. Pogba feels much happier now under the management of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And as I said, Pogba is a great player when he does play to his potential level, and he has shown it in these 2 games under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, providing assists, scoring 2 goals yesterday. And I think when he's potentially at his best, he's a player that can be on 10. He can be on at least 15 goals a season when he's potentially at his best there, Paul Pogba, because he is a world-class player. You know, he did cost Manchester United £89 million. You know, he had 4 or 5 good years at Juventus, you know, when he was younger. Obviously, Paul Pogba, but he obviously he didn't get on, you know, with Jose Mourinho, like the other top players didn't get on with Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho had disputes, you know, with the Manchester United board as well. He wasn't getting back, you know, he was frustrated with lack of transfer activity. He didn't get some of the signings, you know, that he wanted to get. The board didn't back some of his signings that he wanted to get in. And that's the thing, and the players in the team, you know, the team just weren't playing for Jose Mourinho, but all of a sudden now they are playing for Solskjaer, and I think Pogba, you know, is a great player. You know, he played very well yesterday. You know, the way that he was running, you know, his passing was absolutely sublime as well. He expressed himself very well. And it's a team now you can see, looks a total different team, playing with confidence, playing with passion, playing with heart, playing with a lot of intensity, which is very good to see, getting bodies in decent positions, getting fullbacks high up the pitch. You know, it's good to see central defenders like Lindelof, Phil Jones, you know, getting involved, you know, pushing high, you know, into the midfield and that, and getting involved, you know, which is very good to see. You know, yesterday Matic played very well as well. Matic played very well, got his name on the score sheet. I think that's his first goal in the Premier League. Is it since Crystal Palace last season? I might be wrong about that. That's the last time I can remember him scoring a goal. But yeah, you know, you've got pace of Lingard, pace of Rashford that can press high up the pitch and cause problems for the opposition defence as well. But as I said, Solskjaer knows the club. You know, I credit Solskjaer because he did say he's going to give everybody the chance, which is very good to see. He said everyone's going to get the chance. He said you need to pick the best lineup, you know, for every game. But he said everyone's going to get the chance. He's going to give the youth the chance, which is very good to see. You know, potentially Fred, he hasn't really played much this season, but I think he needs more game time to try and get himself to express himself more and get playing to his potential level. Fred, he wasn't that good yesterday. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't potentially that good. I think Pereira's going to get more game time under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Solskjaer's also confirmed that Mason Greenwood's going to be starting in the FA Cup, so he's going to be making his senior debut. As I said, he's been doing very, very well for the reserves. Angel Gomez came on yesterday. We're good to see him, give Angel Gomez a chance yesterday as well. But yeah, he did say everyone's going to get the chance. I think players will grow and develop in this Manchester United team more under the management of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I think he could turn Rashford and Martial into superstars. So too Lingard as well. And, potentially, yeah, it's good to see that the team are playing. As we all currently know, they're playing with confidence. The passing's very, very good. They're getting bodies in decent positions. Very, very precise on the ball that we are looking. Now Solskjaer, 2 wins out of 2. 8 goals in 2 games, as we all know, which is very, very good to see. Phil Jones played well yesterday. I mean, he's injury prone and he's known for injuries, but when he's fully fit, he can play very, very well defensively, can Phil Jones, and I thought he played well yesterday. Phil Jones, Lindelof, played well as well, the way he was galloping forward as well. I think Bailly will get more game time under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I know he didn't play yesterday, but I still think, Bailly will get more game time, to be quite fair, because he hasn't been playing that much this season, Eric Bailly, to be quite clear. But yeah, it was a very, very good performance yesterday. He's a bit slow to start with, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said in his post-match interview. It was a bit slow to start with. We started the second half a bit slow. To be fair, Huddersfield did have their chances yesterday. To be quite fair, one of the one chance, David De Gea had to pull a world-class save off, to be quite fair. And they had two good opportunities in the first half as well, Huddersfield. So we did look a bit shaky defensively at times. But, apart from that, we played very, very well. Passed the ball well, got bodies in decent positions, pressing high up the pitch. And that's very, very good to see. So he has got this team motivated as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, which is very, very good to see. And Pogba's 2 goals were absolutely world class. His third one were the best, to be quite honest with you. Obviously Juan Mata didn't do much yesterday. I think he was okay. But he was part to play, I think, for the second goal, was it? He passed it to Herrera. Herrera passed it to Pogba. And Pogba finished it off finally. And and the first goal, Lindelof was a part to play in the Lindelof in the Matic goal. Lindelof was a part to play because he got the header. The keeper saved it, and obviously Matic took the rebounding from close range. But we had about 16 shots yesterday. I think we created 13 chances. Huddersfield created 9. But they did give us a few scary moments, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did say in his post-match interview. So that's now 2 wins out of 2, as we all know. 8 goals scored. Pogba, 2 goals yesterday, 2 or 3 assists against Cardiff. Lingard, assist yesterday, 2 goals also against Cardiff and an assist against Cardiff as well. So Jesse Lingard's been playing really, really well lately. As we all know, he did go 19 games without a Premier League goal, did Jesse Lingard, as we all currently know. But it's good to see the confidence is back in the team, as we all know, getting players high up the pitch, and that's what we want to see. Good, positive football, looking energetic, looking well organised, looking well motivated, as we all know. And the momentum now, the winning momentum now is back in the team, as we all currently know. So potentially, all in all, it was a good performance yesterday. It was a game we were expected to win anyway because we was at home. Huddersfield are obviously, 19th. Well, obviously 20th now. I think they are bottom now with that defeat, to be quite fair. Huddersfield. But yeah, Solskjaer's reportedly going to get around £50 million to spend in this upcoming January window. Reportedly, he's got a few potential targets, that he does want to get in, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. As I said to you, Koulibaly, Torbjörn Alderweireld's a target. There's been talks about Douglas Costa, as well, as we all know. But potentially, as he updated you yesterday, he said reportedly the bookies are favourites. The bookies have favoured Manchester United to go on and sign Koulibaly in this upcoming January transfer window. But as I said to you guys, reportedly it came out in the press saying that reportedly the player has agreed a new deal with Napoli. He's under contract with them actually initially until 2023. But according to what I saw in the media, he said he had actually signed a new deal, Koulibaly, but he adapts every area of his game very, very well. And I think he'd lead our line fantastically well at the back if he was to come to Manchester United, Koulibaly. Reportedly in the process, we've had 3 bids now turned down for the player. The recent one was around £95 million Manchester United put in. The Napoli president himself have confirmed this, but reportedly Napoli, according to them, they're not willing to do business in January for Koulibaly. but he's got a good pedigree in Europe. He's established himself very, very well with Napoli, as we all know, and he's a very, very good, strong central defender. His versatility is very, very good. He's good at holding onto the ball, and he's physically very, very good, and he's technically very, very strong as well. Is the player, and I think he'd lead our defensive line fantastically well if you put him onside Bailly or Lindelof, Koulibaly, but he does cost us. We know he's going to cost us at least £90 million to get the player, so it would be a world record fee for the defender. And Ed Woodward has held discussions, with the Napoli officials over this, as we all currently know. He's been a full international since 2015. He's made 29 senior appearances for Senegal as the player as well. But we know that Manchester United have been heavily linked to him. We've still got Fosu Mensah and Tuan Zebi out on loan. And, Bailly's got great potential when he gets that game time. If you put him alongside Bailly, he'd look good. If you put him alongside Lindelof, Koulibaly, he'd look very, very good indeed. And I think he'd improve our defensive line fantastically well. But I think the player's reportedly now signed a new deal. So we may turn... I don't think we'll get Koulibaly anywhere. I think he's happy at Napoli anywhere, as Napoli have confirmed this. Maybe he may be available next summer, I do not know. But we do keep hearing the rumours about it, as we all currently know. But, yes, but I think Toby Alderweireld, is obviously going to be more of an option now for Manchester United to go get. We're not in any desperate needs to get any permanent deals in January, as we all know, but... I'm going to sneeze. But yeah, Toby Alderweireld is a player that Manchester United have been linked with them. Of course, I said I have reservations about Toby Alderweireld, to be quite honest with you. He has been on decline for the last 12 months, as we all know, but he can be a world-class central defender, can Toby Alderweireld, when he's on form, as we all know, and I think he'd lead our lines very, very well at the back. I think he has gone off the pace a little bit, Toby Alderweireld, to be quite honest with you. Obviously there's been no sign of him signing a new contract with Tottenham, as we all currently know. There's been no sign of him signing a new contract with Tottenham. Reportedly, he's got a £25 million release clause for next summer, as Toby Alderweireld reportedly. But as I said, he's Premier League proven. Potentially he has lost the pace a little bit. He is age, 29 years of age. He has got great potential, and he can play very, very well, can Toby Alderweireld. Man United were linked with him during the course of summer, but, we didn't come to an agreement with Tottenham to get, obviously, Toby Alderweireld, but he can play as centre-back. He can also play as a full-back as well, and I think he'd be a good leader in our back line with Toby Alderweireld, so I potentially would be happy with him. He's proven in the Premier League. He can, play very, very well. He has got some tenacity about his play as well, the way he darts forward from the centre-back or the full-back, where he can play. But yeah, we know there has been rumours of that going on as well about Toby Alderweireld. Obviously, he's an ex-Ajax player. He won 3 titles with Ajax, when he was younger, in his younger prime. Toby Alderweireld. He won the title with Atletico Madrid. Got to the Champions League final his first season with Atletico Madrid as well. And he's an ex-Southampton player as well. He's Toby Alderweireld. But as I said, he'd look good if you put him alongside Bailly or Lindelof. Because we have still got other options at our back line, as we all know. But yeah, we've part of the being linked to him. I've already discussed with you about the Douglas Costa news, as I've already updated you on that. We're part of the Manchester United have been linked to him. We're part of the Man United have had a £54 million bid turned down. He's a good cross to the ball. He's fast, he's quick, he's got a lot of tenacity about his play. He's got good genuine pace, as we all know. But we're part of this £54 million bid being turned down. But I don't see Manchester United getting him anywhere. But yeah, we've got a few potential targets, for the January transfer window, as we all know. But it's good to see the confidence is back in the team. The team are playing for the manager. Solskjaer has been discussing his managerial style at the club, as I currently said. And I think he does. He likes the attacking football. He understands the philosophy, as we all know. Does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and he likes it here. He likes the coaching staff. He likes Carrick. He likes Kieran. He likes Mike Phelan. Obviously, Phelan's working alongside Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all know. And it's good times are coming back to Old Trafford, as I currently said, which we haven't seen for a long, long time, as we all currently know. But as I said, even if you said
said would have beat Jose and the Mourinho, we probably would have done, but we'd have probably gone 1-0 up, and then Jose and Mourinho had gone defensive, and we wouldn't have played that type of football under Jose and Mourinho anywhere, because his style of play was absolutely atrocious at the club. His managerial style altogether was atrocious at the club as well, and the players weren't playing for him, as we all currently know. But now we're seeing attractive football under Solskjaer. His tactics are right, his lineups are right, he's got that winning mentality, as we all currently know, and he just knows what he's doing, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I currently said. But whether he gets the job on a full-time basis or not, I do not know. But yeah, so I've updated you on some transfer rumours today. There'll be more videos coming up soon. So as I updated you earlier on, I began with a bit of Arsenal's transfer rumours. As I said, they're interested in Ever Benga. 30, I think he's 30 years of old. He's 30-year-old. He plays for Sevilla. He's worked with Umremre twice in the past as the player, of course. And yeah, so reportedly he's got an 18 million release clause, reportedly, as the player. According to the media, he's got around an 18 million release clause. And yeah, reportedly Arsenal have been interested in him. But I think Arsenal at the moment, you know, even though they did go on a 22-match unbeaten run at one point, since then I think they have, you know, been a bit, you know, they've been poor. I know they beat Burnley 3-1 at home, but then before that they lost the last two, didn't they? They lost in the cup to Tottenham. They lost to Southampton. You know, obviously yesterday they drew with Brighton 1-1 as well, so they are on a bit of bad run at the moment, Arsenal, so they do need to get their act together. I think they still look a potential better team under Umremre, to be quite fair, but I just think they need to spend in the January transfer window, maybe get a winner in, that they're in the search for a winger, because Mkhitaryan and Iwobi aren't delivering the goods at that wing, as we all know. They have got injury problems, to be fair. And I think, you know, they may need a strong defender in there as well, Arsenal, to be quite fair. But yeah, they are linked with a few potential targets. So as I did update you, the links with Ever Benga. He's been mentioned in the press, 18 million release clause. He's a Sevilla player. As I said, he's won 2 Europa Leagues with them. He obviously had one season with Inter Milan, as he updated you. He had loan deals of Atletico Madrid and Newell's Old Boys, as we all know. You know, with Valencia, he won the Copa del Rey. He played in he made 162 appearances for Valencia, did the player, as we all know. So he's supposed to be a very, very good attacking midfielder. Reportedly, Arsenal could see him as a suitable replacement for Mesut Ozil if he leaves, or even Aaron Ramsey. So reportedly, PSG have been in negotiations regarding Arsenal's Aaron Ramsey, according to the press. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribing as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.